Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar called EA and Companies Under 500 Seats. What do the new changes mean to you? My name is Sarah Cahill. I've worked with COMPAREX for over 3 years now and have been focused on Microsoft technology, licensing, and licensing programs throughout most of my professional career. Here at COMPAREX, I work with our customers to understand how best to structure their Microsoft investment. For those who may not be familiar with COMPAREX, COMPAREX is a global IT and license solutions provider specializing in licensing and consulting to deliver cloud-based solutions for its customers. We're the 6th largest Microsoft partner in the world. Our primary objective is to work with our customers to reduce the risk, cost, and complexity for their IT cloud solutions. We have a track record spanning over 30 years as a business. Our company has a great history of working with large corporations, small businesses, public sector entities, nonprofit organizations, and education verticals. The COMPAREX Group employs nearly 2,400 people as we continue to grow globally. Currently, we have a presence in 34 countries in the Americas, Europe, Asia, and Africa. For many years now, COMPAREX has been recognized for our services, our expertise, and our collaborative efforts in the Microsoft community. Most recently, we were named Microsoft's Volume Licensing and SAM Partner of the Year, and in 2014, we were named the Global Cloud Partner of the Year. And of course, we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for our clients, a sample of which you'll see here. These are some recognizable brands, but we are just as proud of our work in the small and mid-sized business space. COMPAREX helps organizations move their applications and infrastructure to the Microsoft Cloud to lower cost, reduce risk, and increase security and productivity. We do this by tightly integrating what we believe to be the 3 core components of running a successful business in the cloud: licensing, software asset management, and unified cloud management. Today I'm going to focus on the licensing piece, as there's a major change to one of Microsoft's most well-known licensing programs that will affect many of its customers. So you may ask, what is this change? Well, on July 1st, 2016, Microsoft's Enterprise Agreement will only allow for purchases of 500 or more seats. This is a change from the current 250-seat entry point. For any organization under 500 seats that's currently in an EA, you'll be able to renew that agreement for 1 additional 3-year term after July 1st, 2016. And for those under 500 seats and not yet in an EA, you'll only have the opportunity to enter into the program between now and June 30th of this year. While the announcement itself is important, even more important is what it means to you. As I mentioned earlier, there are 2 scenarios to keep in mind depending on your current licensing investment. If you're under 500 seats in an EA, you have a decision to make at your next renewal. Renew and stay in the EA for another 3 years, or renew into a different licensing program. For those under 500 seats and not in an EA, now is the time to determine whether moving into an EA makes sense before Microsoft raises the seat count requirement from 250 to 500 seats. In either situation, there's a unique opportunity to leverage the changes and Microsoft's various licensing programs to negotiate a cost-effective licensing solution for your organization. So how do you know what the best path forward is for your organization? Well, it requires a little work to build out your Microsoft roadmap for the next few years. You need to consider both short-term needs and long-term strategies. Are you in the cloud, considering a move to the Microsoft Cloud, planning to stay on-premise for the next few years? Thinking about where your organization is going in terms of Microsoft technology is a great first step to figuring out the best path forward. This roadmap allows you to weigh the price differences and licensing advantages across all of Microsoft's various licensing programs to help you determine what offers the greatest flexibility and cost savings. There are a lot of licensing programs out there to leverage, so it may not be a simple answer. Because these changes have been announced widely, your current Microsoft licensing partner should have already provided you with analysis to help you determine what these changes really mean to you. However, if you haven't yet received this analysis, let us help you figure out your options. We can provide a free license assessment that takes your current licensing footprint and compares it to where you want to go from a Microsoft technology perspective. Let us show you what your investment would look like in the various licensing programs and how your roadmap affects that licensing strategy. There's no charge for this service and no obligation to purchase anything, but what it will get you is a clear picture of the choices you have based on this licensing change, and the ability to make a decision as to whether there's an opportunity to leverage the enterprise agreement changes to your benefit. Additionally, if you have any plans to moving into the Microsoft Cloud, we can factor in migration and support costs to help with your planning. Our cloud architects are available to field any technical questions you might have about your potential migration to the Microsoft Cloud. I'm sure the big questions are, what is an assessment and how much work does it require me to do? The assessment looks a lot like what you see here. This is just one slide, just one scenario that is built out based on a conversation about your current license state and where you're going as an organization. This particular slide focuses on SQL. Generally, it takes an hour-long conversation to get all the basic info needed. Data is taken from price lists, upgrade cycles, how you use a particular title, and it is mapped out over 3 to 9 years to show you all the different ways you can acquire that licensing. The pros and cons with each option are outlined for you, along with any risks associated with that option. For example, rapid growth in a perpetual EA means you're going to be required to true up a large amount based on that growth. In an enterprise subscription or with Office 365, you have a lower cost of entry, but the licenses aren't perpetual. So if you step away from the agreement, you don't own anything. With this assessment, you're going to walk away with all the important information you need to help make a determination as to what licensing structure makes the most sense for your organization in the current enterprise agreement licensing model and after the changes taking place July 1st. So we asked you here for a reason. As I mentioned earlier, we were named Microsoft's Volume Licensing Partner of the Year on a global level. I like to think we know our stuff, and even better, we understand not only US-based organizations, but also multinational organizations. You got it, we've done it. So I'd like to offer you a free license assessment for your Microsoft licensing and agreements. Let our experts take a look at ways to apply the information we've talked about today to your organization. If you're in a great place licensing and agreement-wise, then great, we're going to tell you that. If not, we'll offer ways to streamline and some things to think about. The only requirements are permission to see what licensing you currently own, an hour of your time for some Q&A, and about 30 minutes to follow up and go through the results and our suggestions for moving forward. So how can you lose? If you want to get started on an assessment, or if you're not ready to dive into a license assessment right now, but have some questions about the EA change or licensing in general, please feel free to reach out to one of our licensing experts. We can dig into your questions and get you quick and clear answers. Just email licensingexpert@comparexusa.com. We look forward to working with you. Thanks so much for your time.